Hey guys, we're wrapping up a week here in Washington, D.C., and I want to take some time to break down what the National Security Bill is. Now, what the National Security Bill that I'm referring to, the media in opposition to the bill, calls it the Ukraine bill. And it's far from that, but I want to let you understand how this process even started working. When we start talking about the National Security Bill, 75% of the money in that bill stays inside the United States, meaning that it goes to our defense industry, it goes to our munition, our replenishing of our stocks. But then what else is in this bill is called the Lend-Lease and the Land Act and the Repo Act. Now, where did that come from? That came from President Trump. President Trump and I started working on this bill, this particular bill, several months ago. And in fact, President Trump put out a Truth Social post that said we should only give money to Ukraine in a loan. It could be a generous loan. It could be a loan with no interest and no scheduled paybacks, just if you strike it rich, or if you turn your back on the United States, you owe us the money back. When I called him after he put that post out, and I said, Mr. President, is this something that you really are interested in? He says, yes. So I flew down, spoke to him in Florida. We had a great conversation, and then we came back and went to work. We kind of found out there's a thing called the Lend-Lease that goes all the way back to 1941, that we actually did this for the Soviet Union and China and Great Britain during World War II, where we didn't give them money, we'd loan them money. In fact, Great Britain just paid off their loan in 2006. Then we went and we started going a little bit farther, that there's this thing called a Repo Act. Well, the Repo Act's been around for a while, but let me explain it to you. What the Repo Act allows us to do is we take assets to the aggressing country. In World War II, it was Germany. In this case, it's Russia. The money that we have seized through sanctions, we use that money for humanitarian or to rebuild the country they went after. Rather than the United States paying for it, we use the aggressive country's money to pay for it. Makes a lot of sense. President Trump was like, yes, this makes a lot of sense. Then you start talking about what the Land Act is. Well, what the Land Act does is it allows us to have first rights of minerals, of petroleum products, or whatever the country has, and we have the first right to purchase those. Now, we don't take it, but we purchase it based on an international trade agreement on the set price. Well, what's interesting about Ukraine is Ukraine has one of the largest rare earth mineral deposits in the world. In fact, the only people that control a larger mineral deposit is China. And right now, for all of our EV batteries, which that's a whole other story, and all of the chips that we have a problem with, that's on all of our phones and vehicles, that mineral we're actually having to buy from China. Through this Land Act, we're able to actually get it from Ukraine. We'd cut China completely out of it, which is a win-win. So the Repo Act, win for the United States. The Land Act, win for the United States. The Lend-Lease Act, 100% win for the United States. And all this is, I got to say, thanks to President Trump for weighing in and helping us, understanding that this was a national security issue we were dealing with. Not to mention the fact that we have an obligation to Ukraine, but we also have an obligation to Israel, and we also have an obligation to Indo-Pacific. So all that being said, this wasn't just a Republican bill that we've been working on. President Trump had a heavy hand, and I want to make sure that he gets a lot of credit for what we did here.
Would you support a Ukrainian aid bill if the Speaker was to move forward with it?
We're looking at it right now, and they're talking about it, and we're thinking about making it in the form of a loan instead of just a gift. We keep handing out gifts of billions and billions of dollars, and we'll take a look at it. But much more importantly to me is the fact that Europe has to step up and they have to give money. They have to equalize. If they don't equalize, I'm very upset about it because they're affected much more than we are. The Ukraine situation would have never happened if I was president.
Because without his help, we wouldn't be able to get to the point we are today, which is a huge advantage for national security purposes. Thought I'd break that down for you. Hope it helped a little bit. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America.